It is a busy day. I have a lot I want to talk to you guys about. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH, but I want to start with a conversation that we just had in this studio that has me questioning everything about myself as an employee, as a human being, as a moral person. Am I the idiot? Honestly, this is, I believe, our listeners' favorite segment of the show. It's your chance to tell me that I am an idiot. So one of our coworkers took a sick day today, and she talked about it on the show, so I'm not talking out of turn. And we're just discussing this in the studio because this is what supportive and good coworkers do. We judge your use of sick days and days off, right? Like that's exactly what you want. So I believe there are two kinds of people. There are people who use their sick days as a company benefit. And if you get, I don't know, how many sick days do we even get around here, Cook? I mean, this indicates where I am on this thing. I don't even know.
I don't either. I want to say it was
7.
I think it was like 8, maybe even 10. But
10?
the problem is they accrue. So I've got so much sick time accrued.
Oh, you get to save them.
Yeah, I have no
Whoa,
clue.
that's a nice benefit.
It's not bad.
So I never use my sick days. Am I wrong? 651-461-9226. I do not come to work sick. I mean,
Those can't both be true, can they?
Dan, I have the immune system, honestly, of like
Of a Greek god? I mean, what are you talking about here?
Artemis, sort of Artemis style. Nero, perhaps.
Probably not a great comp there.
Maybe not great.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go there.
I just don't get sick. I don't get sick. Have I taken a single sick day since I've started this show almost 4 years ago? I don't think so.
None leap to mind for me.
I don't think I have.
But I want to say I've seen you come in with a sniffle.
Anything where you're like, he shouldn't be here today. I did have a sneeze one day.
There was a couple of days where I was wondering, yeah.
But aren't we allowed to go to work with a sneeze? Like are you calling in sick with a sneeze?
You're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do.
I guess.
I think the pandemic reframed the idea of coming in because I used to be if it isn't broke or bleeding, I'm coming to work.
Right.
I used to be that guy. But I think the pandemic and what woke me up during the pandemic is, of course, I was coming in here every day. We changed protocols here. Everybody has their own mic screens. Everybody was wiping everything down. And I went about 2 years in between having a cold and realized, if you actually do separate yourself and take, certain basic precautions, you can not get sick nearly as often.
Right.
So that
True.
reframes the idea of, you know what, if I'm feeling kind of cruddy, rather than bringing that to everybody else, take a day.
My view is that I work around one person, Dan Cook, and if I'm sick, he can get a little sick too. What's the big deal? Tough enough. We're the same age.
Thanks.
You're in great shape.
That's not true.
You can handle anything.
That's definitely not true.
A little cold isn't going to knock you down. You're a Gen Xer. What happened? What happened to society? 651-461-9226. Am I doing this wrong? Am I an idiot? Should I be using the days that the company has given me as a day off? Now, I confess that there are a couple of things that factor into my thinking here. One is that big voice guy comes on and says it's drive time with DeRUSH, not the WCCO Radio 3 to 6 Funhouse. So I feel a little extra.
A much better name.
Would have been. Could we rename the show?
We can do whatever we want.
The WCCO Radio 3 to 6 Funhouse does. I mean, I feel it would be false advertising, though. I'm not sure. Are we providing
We have fun all the time.
So I feel like a little obligation that it's my name on the thing. Like I better show my butt up to work, On the other hand, I've always had like a little bit of admiration for the coworkers. And mostly I saw this at TV. And again, here, part of it is it's like Laura does the news about a city block away from me. So I can pretty much come to work, and the closest person I am is you.
Right.
And you are what?
5 feet away.
5 feet away.
But,
I'm not coming here with dysentery.
well, that's good. But you do breathe into a mic screen. You do touch a keyboard. You do touch a whole area that Henry Lake then comes in and touches after you.
Yeah.
And there may or may not be wiping down that happens in between those two things. And who knows how long germs survive on all that stuff to where
I do think science knows how long those germs.
Probably. I don't.
Right.
Since I'm not science.
I think we've just I just think you should go to work. You should go to work. It is I wish I could change. Part of me wishes that I could use these as a bucket of bonus days. And it's not even a bonus. Like, this is why the people who just use those days, fine. Like, I think that's fine.
People can do what they do.
But could you ever do that? Could you?
I wouldn't take a sick day, especially not with the vacation that we get. I wouldn't take a sick day just as like an extra day off. And, a lot of that has to do, it's contextual, right? The job that I do, you don't just leave work on the desk till the next day.
Right.
Somebody has to physically be here and do this. So if I need to take a day, somebody else has to come in and do what I was going to be doing today. So I'm not going to just take a day just to take a day and inconvenience somebody else's life for that reason. But that's, I don't want to say unique to my job, but that's maybe not
our job
is not what everybody experiences.
I think both of our jobs are more like being on an assembly line in a warehouse than working in an office, because someone has to fill.
We're just making the donuts. Is that what you're saying?
Nobody liked this at TV when I used to say this. Like, my boss didn't understand why people were so irritable in the newsroom. And I said, I think part of the problem is that people think they've signed up for white collar work, but they really work at a warehouse or a factory. They're in the news factory. Every day you come, you make the news, and then you go home, and you come back the next day and you got to make the news, and you got to make the news on Saturday, and you got to make the news on Sunday, and you got to make the news on holidays. It's sort of like us. You just got to do it. Texter saying, Jason, likely to take the next week off due to sickness. Texter says, I have an employee that uses her sick leave as fast as she earns it. Puts a crimp on our operations. Yeah. I would think so, right? Another texter says, Jason, it shows integrity. Is this the first time someone has texted in and said something I've said on this show shows integrity?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Big moment. Big moment for the show. Thank you. We were created to work. I am a teacher, and I have 103 accrued. That's how I was raised. Yeah. Mike is in Woodbury. Mike, do you use your sick time? Are you a sick time user, or do you have a threshold as to what it takes for you to use it?
Well, I will tell you this, Jason. Well, first of all, in a way, if I'm really sick or if I'm severely under the weather, though, yeah, I would definitely use a sick day. And well, where I work for, whom I work with, we transport students and everything. And I mean, our company has strongly emphasized, time, and well, not very often though, but in any particular situation, that if you are sick and you're carrying anything that's considered to be to any means contagious, don't come into work or whatever, because I mean, it just shows common sense. And that's what our company really, strives to obtain, in any particular situation. And besides, if you're going to have a serious cold, you don't want to be in the presence of children, no matter what they're. They don't necessarily have to be special needs, but anyway, because parents, if they discover that you're sick, or the faculty or whomever, then and if their kids start contracting it, then they're going to start at somebody.
For sure.
You have to use common sense in a situation like that.
Makes sense. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Another texter says, I drive school bus, and the only disease I have not gotten this year was leprosy. So the texter actually,
we got like a bingo card going here, or what are we talking about?
Yeah. I think if you drive school bus, that is part of the gig.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's context specific jobs, right? Where some jobs it's easier to go ahead and just take the sick day because the stuff will still be waiting there tomorrow to work on. And then there's other jobs, like school bus driver, like our jobs, where that's definitely not the case. Somebody's got to do the thing.
Here's the problem with this, with my approach, though.
There's just one.
A texter says, Jason, I've seen coworkers with 4 or 5 sick days left in the year, and you can bet they are sick all of those days in December. I would feel bad about that.
I would too.
And also, I think I always thought the company would care.
Oh, well, there's a mistake.
Like, if you did it the right way, and then something happened, that they wouldn't, like I always had all of the sick time I ever had was use it, and then it resets every year. It does not accrue. And so I always thought, like, if something really went wrong, I'm sure they'd remember for 20 years I showed my butt up to work and never used the sick time. And narrator, they did not care.
They, in fact, did not care.
They do not care. Yeah. Let's break. I don't know. Try to be a good person. That's all. I'm trying to be a good person, but the company don't care. So I feel like I am the idiot in this scenario. That's sort of my analysis. Yeah. Tom from Minneapolis hasn't missed a day of work in 3 years. He's a caretaker at a residential high-rise. So he, on the one hand, is around germs at all times, but on the other hand, probably has all of the bleach that one could need. All of the antiseptic wipes. He's as germ-free as they come. We're going to break in a minute. I cannot believe the news that the police chief of Minneapolis doesn't have the votes to get reappointed. What do people want in a police chief? We're going to talk about Brian O'Hara in just a minute here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Chris Lindahl and chrislindahl.com is, man, this time of year, it's sort of Lindahl time because the spring is here. The housing market does heat up in the spring, but what it heats up with is uncertainty, fear, questions, nervousness. When's the last time you had your house on the open market? It's a little frightening, right? And with the economic situation out there and the job situation, do you know that the person who puts in the offer and it gets accepted and on is going to actually go through with it? Chris Lindahl is giving out more and more big red checks because people are saying, yes, that guaranteed cash offer for sure. If you need quick money, if you need quick cash, if you want to get out from underneath a house or you have a job change or a life circumstance change, yep, guaranteed cash offer, perfect for you. Sell it as is, boom, you're done. But more and more people in what you would think of as a traditional situation are recognizing that the way of selling a house is broken. And Chris Lindahl provides you a quick path, a pain-free path to a big red check. See if it makes sense for you. There's a free smart seller guide right at chrislindahl.com. He's a Minnesotan. He's a friend of mine. I've known Chris for years. He will take care of you. Get to chrislindahl.com today.
Question: what business couldn't use extra income? Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Right now, Amazon Hub Delivery is looking to partner with ambitious local businesses to become Amazon Hub partners. You and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area when it's convenient for you. With each package delivered, your business gets paid. Get started at Amazon.com/hub delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB delivery.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Known you for ages, it's all that I've heard. My friends are in love.
All right, I'm getting messages on Instagram that say mental health days for sure count on using a sick day. I used to think that the mental health day was ridiculous. That we have mental health days. They're called vacation days or personal days, right? Like just use a vacation day. But now I've come to terms with it. Do I ever need a mental health day? No, because I get to take out all of my frustrations right with you people. I have 3 hours to vent about whatever the hell I want to. Why would I need a mental health day? I have the greatest group therapy ever.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to take one.
Well, you are not a reliable voice.
What? Why would
as to when I should take a day off.
Why would you say that?
So I'm off next Thursday and Friday.
Are you really?
Who's filling in for me on the show?
I'd have to go check the schedule. I'm not entirely
interesting.
Wait, that's me.
One more from Nick in Woodbury, who's a union laborer. So they don't get sick days. If they miss a day of work, they miss a day of pay. He says, it sucks.
Yeah, that would stink.
It does.
That would stink.
Yeah.
I mean, mental health days, I think, look, I'm the big advocate. You should be able to see a therapist like you can go to a minute clinic and get a flu test.
Yeah.
So I'm all for mental health advocacy. But people mean different things by that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are days where you genuinely just can't. And then there are other days where you're just like, I don't feel like it. Those are two way different things. And one of them I'd advocate for. The other one, again, it depends on your work situation.
It depends on your work situation.
If I take that here, I screw up somebody else's day and maybe mess with their mental health.
If you're not screwing someone else, so what? Because the company don't care.
They definitely don't.
I never even got like a perfect attendance pin or like a donut. But the trick is you don't want to encourage people to come to work sick. So the idea of like incentivizing perfect attendance is also stupid. So I
did get an Employee of the Month award once here when we had that program for like 10 minutes. And then I got mocked by the boss for it. So, kind of evened that right out.
I am, well, every time I say that I'm stunned by something in Minneapolis, I have to check myself because I shouldn't be. I think the police of chief, take two. I think the chief of police in Minneapolis has by and large done an impossible job impossibly well. Brian O'Hara has been accountable. He's been public. He's been open. He comes on with Adam and Jordana all the time. He shows up on crime scenes. I think in a time where you were hiring a police chief to try to modernize the police department, clean up what both federal and state investigators took a look at and said there were generations of discriminatory practices happening in our police department. And we've sort of been wondering, why hasn't Mayor Jacob Fry reappointed Brian O'Hara? Does he not want to stay? That was sort of what I was thinking. Well, Channel 5 last night did a story that it's not that the chief doesn't want to come back. It's that he doesn't have enough city council support right now to be approved as top cop. 5 Eyewitness News reporting, if the city council voted on Chief O'Hara now, his appointment would fail. What do you people want? What more could you want in a police chief? If you hate the police, you're not going to hate any. You're not going to like any police chief. So if you hate the police, I don't care what you think about this. But if you love Minneapolis, what do you want? This guy has done everything you could want. Now, it was reported earlier this week that there were like 30 complaints filed against him, which by my understanding, we don't know the nature of the complaints. That's part of the process. But the nature of a police union and a police force in a city like Minneapolis is that, if you're an officer and you don't get your way, you're maybe going to file a complaint. That this is part of the process. I think during the federal immigration surge, the work that Police Chief O'Hara did, his public statements encouraging people to not take the bait, to not be violent, spot on. I look at the work of this police chief and you're like, this guy is 10 out of 10. And to think that he doesn't have city council vote for approval, to be honest, if I were a police chief anywhere in the country and the city of Minneapolis coming, I would tell the city of Minneapolis to shove it, that there is no way in hell I would come take a police chief job in this city. And at a time where you're trying to hire more police officers, what is this message saying? Oh, well, now we're gonna screw with the chief. Now, I get it that rank and file police officers are never going to love their chief, right? The chief changes things happen. Like, I get it. But if you're a prospective Minneapolis police officer and you hear that your chief is not being reappointed because he can't get the votes, you're like, what more do you want? I mean, I think Chief O'Hara has been excellent operating within sort of the walls that have been built around him with a county attorney who is more focused on rehabilitating and preventing than punishing. And I know most of our listeners hate Mary Moriarty, but I give her a lot of credit for trying to prevent auto thefts. I will say that I think the job of the county prosecutor is less on the prevention side and more on the prosecutor side. But I do still admire the fact that with all the jawing that goes on about crime, she's actually tried to do something. That said, look at reality. This city council, my goodness, texters are over it. I've been a resident in Minneapolis since the early 90s. I can't stand the city council. I feel they do not act in the best interest of the city. I think the police chief is doing a phenomenal job, and it would be criminal if the city council lets him get away. I would have understood if Chief O'Hara was like, you know what, I had a good run, but I can't deal with you guys anymore. I would understand that. But for the city council to be saying, nope, he doesn't have my support, good luck. Let's break. Tracy Perlman in just a minute. We want to talk about balls and strikes, the ABS. Where are you at on this thing? We've had a good week and a half sample size. I was pretty happy with how it shook out last night. We'll talk to Tracy in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
How's your lawn looking? Pretty brown? Worried that it's going to be ravaged by voles or full of crabgrass? I have zero worries about my lawn, but that's all because of the team at Professional Turf. It's Jason here for Pro Turf, locally owned company. Pro Turf has been getting it done in Minnesota for more than 40 years. Awesome people. In fact, the guy who takes care of my yard has been doing the same houses for more than 20 years. That tells you a little something about the company, right? And it tells you about the reliability and the quality that you're going to get when you reach out at 952-469-8680. Now, yes, they take care of my lawn 5 times a year. They come out liquid, granular. They design a solution for your house. They're going to come out, give you an estimate. They're not just going on Google Maps. And maybe you've been waiting on a big landscape project. This is your year. Let's go. Let's do the fire pit. Let's do the new driveway. Let's do the paver patio. ProTurf has certified designers that'll bring your landscape project to life. You can see some examples at professionalturf.com. But don't wait. Get on the schedule. Have them fire up your sprinklers. Have them take care of your lawn. A lot of people call it a lawn. And get to professionalturf.com.
On a beach in Mexico, you probably don't need Twin Cities traffic updates. Or halfway down the slopes in Colorado, committee meetings at the Capitol.
Hello.
Your mind. And at a theme park with your kids in Florida. Twins talk might be off your radar. But if you do want to check in, just know this. You don't have to be here to hear what's happening here. So if you're in a hammock in Hawaii, we've got you. Checking in from an airport in Amsterdam. There too. When here is nowhere near here, you can always listen anywhere there's a cell signal or Wi-Fi. We're with you. News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this was my 3rd order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product. And I'm 70 years old, so.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash just moved out to the right shoulder, eastbound 394 Worth Parkway, no longer blocking the left lane. Traffic is slow as you come in from Park Place Boulevard. West 94 to South 35W accident there has been taken care of. Still the slowdowns as you make way in from Riverside. South 35W slows through Minneapolis as you make way between Washington Avenue and Franklin Avenue. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO Land Company I use. B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034. Or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by B&M Tree Service. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will clear out tonight. The wind will stay fairly steady as we cool back to about 34. Clouds increase tomorrow. We will see some rain showers, mainly across the southern half of the state. Should hold off till evening in the metro. Tomorrow's high around 50, a little cooler. Wind will be calmer. Plenty of sunshine on Friday. Looks like a great day with a high of 55. We do warm this weekend with a pretty good slug of rain coming in late Saturday into Tuesday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it is 55 degrees. Much warmer out there today on the CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
I think it's absolutely flawless. Whoever's idea was that is a genius.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tracy Perlman is with us from her office at Grand Casino Arena, live via video hookup. Tracy, how are you?
Good. Hello. I almost said good morning. My goodness. Good afternoon.
It is a good afternoon. Yeah. It's warm out there today, isn't it?
You know, I haven't been outside.
What are you working on? What are you doing today?
Lady Gaga is in town. We have a very busy weekend. So we're helping get her crew in.
Is she here yet? Do we know?
I have not seen her myself. So that's all I can say about that. We've got International Festival of Minnesota this weekend, a big, used to be the Festival of Nations.
Right.
Big field trip opportunity, good community program. The next 2 days, we're finalizing some stuff with that. And then Twice, the K-pop group, is holding their first arena show in the Midwest. So we have them on Sunday. And then with Frost Game on Saturday. So I know it's very busy and we've got a lot of little things buttoning up and I am stress eating cotton candy in my office. So
is that your go-to? Or is that just because you're at the arena? There's cotton candy everywhere.
I'm at the arena. Last night was Prince night for the hockey game, for the Wild game. And we have grape flavored cotton candy and I really enjoy it. It's a fun little treat. So I bought some last night at the hockey game and now I'm just stress eating it here at my desk.
Nice. It looks
What's your stress treat?
My stress treat? I'm more of a, when I'm stressed, I make popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
So I go more salty.
Yeah.
You know,
I
chips. I can't have chips around the house because I'm just going to eat them. This is a good question. What is your stress eating food? 651-461-9226.
I do love popcorn.
Do you do microwave?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I put it in a pot like I'm camping. It's
you do it that way.
Yeah. I put it in a pot. I put in a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
I put one kernel in there.
Uh-huh.
And then when that one kernel pops, then I put in a quarter cup of kernels and off we go.
How fun.
That's what I do. Lid? Am I supposed to put a lid on? I don't know. I don't lid it. I just have it.
And I do it that way.
It's sort of Jiffy Pop.
Otherwise
style,
it goes
right?
everywhere.
Yeah. I'm watching it.
I prefer Candyland. I really like their popcorn. The arena has good popcorn too. I do. And I will sometimes buy the really big bucket and then it takes me like 3 days to eat.
Didn't you guys win some?
Yeah. We were named
delicious
best popcorn in the NHL and PWHL. I figure if it's the one league, it's got to be the other one too, right?
How do they judge this? I mean, next hour, we're going to talk about the Michelin guide coming to Minneapolis, but I'm more interested in the best popcorn at Grand Casino Arena.
In the NHL. It's a sports writer from CBS Sports.
Oh, so this guy is he's really been to all of these spots?
He's been to all the stadiums. And then he said it during the World Juniors. We thought that was nice of him. The group 10,000 Takes, they're like a fan group. They retweeted it and said, yeah, absolutely true. And then the marketing geniuses here at the arena said, you're right. We are.
Yes.
And then they made a banner. And you know what, Jason? Nobody has argued with me and nobody has fought it. And
do you know what the secret is? Like I used to work at a concession stand, a swimming pool concession stand, and making popcorn was part of my job.
Yeah. I also made popcorn. I worked at a bank. My mom used to work at Liberty State Bank. It's no longer open in St. Paul. And they had popcorn in the atrium on Fridays. And that was one of my first jobs, as I served popcorn and juice in the atrium. I also worked at a Champs, so I'm well versed in popcorn.
So you know popcorn
I know
well.
popcorn well.
I forget what the stuff was called. There was like a butter flavoring that you'd like.
Yeah, you'd cut the whole bag.
You push the button, cut the bag, and it would shoot this like oil / butter thing.
I think it's
salt.
the salt. Gavin Kaysen says the trick to any good meal is fat and salt. So It's butter. It's not mayonnaise because it's popcorn. So I think it's just butter and salt, and it's fresh. You know, it's like popped right here.
Flavacol? Is that? Yes.
Oh,
Flavacol.
that sounds, yeah. That sounds
Flavacol.
familiar. God, I just never know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's Flavacol. All of a sudden
I
you're
came up
hearing.
with all these fun stats for the ABS system.
All right, let's talk ABS.
Okay.
Let's talk ABS.
Baseball season.
So I was at the game last night.
I went to the home opener.
So did I. I mean, are we trying?
No,
Cook,
I just
how many
wanted
games
to
have you
let
been
people
at?
know
Let's
I'm
one up.
qualified to talk about this.
I can't one up. I have not been to a game yet this year.
Are you one of these, like, you refuse to go because you're not going to give one red cent?
No. I mean, because I don't pay anyways. I have a media pass.
Yeah,
But
Dan and I have gone when we're the only two people in the stadium.
yeah, we've done that.
What? I can't believe that we've had small crowds in
It was
early
during
April.
COVID when they didn't let fans in.
Tracy, he's mad because Twitter is mad at him because he's not mad enough at the poll ads to blame the waning attendance on the ownership.
I'm not here to diss ownerships. I
whole
want to talk
thing.
electronic.
Yeah. Tracy works for an ownership, so she is
She
not
gets it.
going to, it's fine. We all have our allegiances. I just want to make sure I can still get a table at Tom Polad's wife's restaurant. That's really my motivation.
That's important.
Just cards on the table.
No, I just haven't been to a game yet because it's been too cold.
It has been too cold. So
Yeah.
ABS this year is the first year we've had these challenges, right?
Mhm.
And do you like it or do you not like it?
So at first I was like, I hate this. I hate that they're stopping. We all grew up, you don't argue pitches, you don't strikes and balls. You don't argue that. And I didn't like it. But then when they would show the pitch on the screen and it was like a little bit over the line and the whole ball would light up purple, like, nope, it was fair. Then it's kind of fun because you're like, ooh, you got it wrong. And like the whole crowd gets into it. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But it's the constant, we're always stopping and checking and reviewing. And it's the human error, I think, is part of the game that I enjoy, right? Like it keeps it moving. But I do think it is kind of a fun element. So I'm really torn on it. But I was looking, and right now, Ryan Jeffers and Austin Martin are both 2 for 2 with their challenges. And it looks like there's only 19 players that have 100% success rate with challenging. Yeah, I pulled that up too from ESPN. So I think that's kind of interesting. As a catcher, I would hope Ryan Jeffers knows where the strike zone is.
He's had
he's had more. Maybe he has 2 for 2 as a hitter, but he's had way more than that as a catcher.
Yes. As a catcher, he's had more. Yeah.
This says this is all. As a catcher, he's had 13 challenges and 8 wins.
Okay.
61.5%. It's pretty good.
So the site that Jason's showing on YouTube right now is a website called Tap to Challenge that uses StatCast data to scrape.
Because they tap their
information.
helmets when they want
So,
to.
and then they've got a whole algorithm where they've ranked teams by how many runs they've technically added via the challenge system. And that's a whole series of deals. But the Twins actually lead all of baseball right now. They lead all of baseball in the number of attempts, the number of pitches that have been challenged, but pitchers, catchers, batters. And they also lead in terms of the value that they've extracted from those challenges. So they're doing something right.
Number one. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder, are we going to have young kids constantly arguing, parents constantly arguing?
Yeah, because we haven't had that before.
No.
But it's going to be worse, isn't it?
Right. And then I don't like that. The stopping of the game drives me crazy. It's like, let's just play. Let's go. Come on.
I think, Tracy, a lot of people say the same thing that you did in terms of, well, we like to have the human element in the game. And they like that right up until a bad call affects the team.
Affects their team. Right.
And then they hate it.
Like,
and then they hate it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that there's sort of a disjointed nature to the game as this has been rolled out. I think it's just taking time for people to figure out when to use them, how to use them, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense.
Right.
And I think as you get through this year, a lot of that herky-jerkiness will smooth its way out.
Right. I do think like the strategy of it, because the players, if you start to go, hey, listen, you're 4th in the lineup and you keep calling these because you're mad. Now we don't get to use them later in the game when we really need it.
Right.
There is a strategy to
the
that.
timing strategy. I'm interested because right now there's just not enough data to know, right? Does it
exactly.
make sense to save it? I would say no, it makes sense to be right, and then you can keep challenging.
Yep.
But what if you're a hothead and you're mad? Because let's be honest, they've got bonuses tied to how they play.
Yeah.
And if they're not performing at the plate and now you're mad and you're calling and arguing because you're being a hothead or you're worried you're going to get sent down or benched for a game like that, there's some real implications there too.
You're right. I think I've seen a whole lot more hesitation as, oh, is this the right time to use it? Should I not use it? Maybe I shouldn't. And from what, the Twins manager has been saying, it's like, if you think you got, if they got the pitch wrong, just challenge it. They're encouraging the guy, just go ahead and do it.
But you got to go quick.
What, you have 3 seconds.
Yeah. And you got to make that decision fast.
Which fine. Because again, in terms of slowing the game down, you don't want to make it a whole lot more than that.
No.
But that's where, again, guys are just sort of getting used to this, okay, do I have a healthy enough understanding of where this strike zone is going to be for me that I can say, nope, you missed that one, or that was close enough, I'm going to let it go.
Yeah.
That's just repetitions and time and figuring that out.
So are you concerned that this will eventually replace all 4 of the umps? Maybe
Oh gosh, no.
1 or 2 of them?
No, I don't think it's going to ever replace any umpire, because even if you go full on robot umpire, even if you go full on, the computer calls all the balls and strikes,
right?
You still need a umpire at home plate to call safe and out and all the other things that the home plate umpire does.
But I can challenge it and they can go check it in a video box somewhere else.
Yeah, but somebody still needs to make the call for it to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? So you physically need a body there. And I don't think you're ever going to go full on robot calling all the balls and strikes, because the catchers and the pitcher and the players union won't go for it.
What surprises me the most about all of this is that the umpires are pretty good.
They're really good.
Like, I mean, you're looking at when the thing on the screen shows you how many centimeters or whatever, how close it is. You're like, holy cow. And
an inch. Yeah. There was one, I think in New York, I think I read an ump was like, please be a strike, under his breath.
Yeah, exactly. All right, stand by. Today is National Zoo Day. So I want to talk about what age you just stopped going to the zoo and what is the best animal at the zoo. You can text in with that if you want. 651-461-9226. Drive time, back in a minute.
Drive time with DeRUSH is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
All right, Tracy, if you're still there, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you guess what I had for lunch today?
Pork loin.
Good guess. It is in the pork family.
BLT.
No, still no.
Ham.
Ham, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Absolutely right. I mean, Easter, it's still legit to have your leftover ham, right? Mine was smoked. I think I'm fine. Don't come to me for your food safety information. Come to me for your food flavor information. And Minnesota Pork is getting it done. If you need inspiration. Now, Tracy already gave you a couple ideas of things that you could ask for at your grocery store, your butcher shop. But if you go to tastewhatporkcando.com, there are recipes for every meal, every cooking technique. Man, tonight would be a good night to fire up the grill, wouldn't it? Get to that grocery store. Get to that butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota Pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
With the warm days of summer almost here, you're going to want to have an AC in your house. Call Metro Heating and Cooling. We'll be happy to help you choose the AC system that's right for your home and wallet. Get a free estimate at metroheating.com. Metro Heating and Cooling of Maplewood.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
metroheating.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. Ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time for an application may vary. Online health questions required.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are jammed up. East 394 is coming from 100 into downtown Minneapolis. Southbound 35W, still a slow ride past Washington Avenue as you head down to Franklin Avenue. North 169, get ready for the heavy stuff there as you make way past Highway 7 to Medicine Lake Road. Crosstown eastbound is jammed up 100 to Cedar Avenue. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding.
Tracy, we're going to have about
Type
2.5
JTR
minutes
on your
here, so
computer for
quick
roofing,
answer.
siding, gutters, windows,
Thank you.
and
Thank
more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Chris Schaefer's weather forecast is for some showers in the next couple of hours, and already I'm seeing light rain, mostly in the North Metro. That'll clear out tonight, low of 34. Tomorrow, scattered showers by evening, high of 50. In St. Paul, Minnesota, 56 on CCO.
Where curiosity hits the gas. Drive time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
JTR Roofing brought us that live look at the radar. We appreciate them, and we appreciate Continental Diamond. Let's give you a Continental Diamond time check. It is 3:56. Take a look at your watch. Is graduation coming? Think about your kids. Continental Diamond. Yeah, great. That's what we got our kids for graduation. Go see the watch experts at continentaldiamond.com. Tracy Perlman is with us. Today is National Zoo Day. National Zoo Day. Do you have a go-to animal at the zoo, Tracy?
I think the red pandas are really cute. They look so cuddly and adorable and mischievous. They'd rip your face off if given a chance.
That's how I feel about owls. I hate owls.
Mm-hmm.
They're scary. They look like they are plotting your demise, and I think if they could get loose, they would claw your eyes right out.
Yeah, I think all raptors are just judging us.
So true. Dan, do you have a favorite zoo animal?
Well, you know, what I thought of first when I saw this story this morning was that it's been years since I've been to the zoo. And so I remember as a kid when the Minnesota Zoo had the beluga whales, I remember loving the whales. But those are long gone. So I don't know. I don't know that I really have one right now.
I think the last time I went to the zoo was for one of the dolphin shows when they brought back the dolphins temporarily from Chicago.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. So I go to the zoo more often than you guys, maybe more nephew and niece related, but I'm a giraffe guy. Like, I love the giraffe. There's something it's so majestic and that big long neck. And you look at those baby giraffes and think, how did that get out of the mama giraffe? Like, I don't understand this at all. And then always the giraffe will poop. And it delights children. You know, it's just, and I do, when I see pellet ice and the popularity of the pellet ice machines, maybe it's a similar sense of joy where it just shoots the pellets right out of the machine. Just like
Gosh,
the giraffe.
thanks for letting me be a part of today's segment, Jason.
Yeah. Just think about that the next time you ice up.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Tracy.
It's true. Taking a cash offer for your home is the easiest way to sell it, let's face it. But why would you want to leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table? When you hired the John Schuster Group Coldwell Banker Realty, you can still sell your home fast without sacrificing any money. Sandy just worked with the Good Neighbor agent. She was moving out of state. She called John for a cash offer. He told her he'd be happy to make her one, but that he could sell her home for way more on the open market. The Schuster Group's marketing system reaches thousands of potential home buyers every day. It only took John 3 days to find her a buyer willing to pay $10,000 over asking price. That's tens of thousands more than she'd have gotten with a cash offer. John's marketing system made a huge difference. You can learn what your home is worth in seconds on johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The first word on what Minnesota's talking about. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Beirut. Lebanon's health ministry says that Israeli strikes have killed 182 people, the highest single-day death toll in the Israel-Hezbollah war. Iran says as a result of the Lebanon attack, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer in Tel Aviv reports.
In effect, Iran is already acting as if it's being accorded control of one of the world's most important energy arteries. And it's clearly trying to make the most of it. It's an ominous sign for Iranians who were hoping this war would help get rid of a regime that they really despise. Now they fear it's about to become not only more self-confident, but more powerful and more brutal.
This as a fragile ceasefire is in effect between the U.S. and Iran, with Iran now accusing the U.S. of violating the terms. Vice President J.D. Vance.
We have the Iranians promising to open the Straits of Hormuz, and we have a negotiation that's supposed to start this weekend. That's the truth. I think it's a good first step. We're going to see if we can make more progress here in the days to come.
Gas prices are still rising. CBS's Jim Krasula.
The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas nationwide is nearing $4.20. While rising gas prices are prompting some to rethink summer travel plans, others are taking it in stride. Matt Kushinka was gassing up in Richmond, Virginia.
We don't like it. Again, what choice do we have? If we're taking a road trip to see family, you got to have gas in the car.
The national gas price average has exceeded $4 a gallon for the first time in 4 years. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
The man accused in the Gilgo Beach murders on Long Island has admitted to the crimes. Rex Heuermann changed his plea to guilty, telling a judge he would cooperate with the FBI. CBS's Bradley Blackburn in New York.
In a packed courthouse Wednesday, Heuermann admitted to strangling the women and dumping their bodies. Their relatives were there in court.
On behalf of my mother, I accept this plea.
I'm thankful that we came to a conclusion that brought peace to everybody.
A federal judge hands down a sentence of 15 years in prison to a Jasmine Sangha who pleaded guilty to selling Friends star Matthew Perry the ketamine that killed him in a 2023 overdose. Sangha, referred to as the ketamine queen, is the third defendant to be sentenced of the 5 people who've pleaded guilty. Mark Aragos is her attorney.
There's no way that Jasmine is 5 times more culpable than the person who injected Matthew Perry with the drug or the doctor who got the drug.
1 person has died and at least 2 people are missing after the partial collapse of a Children's Hospital of Philadelphia parking garage that is under construction. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Carol came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Minnesota's trusted voice. Every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 53 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Minneapolis police arrest 4 juveniles in connection with a carjacking and robbery spree late Tuesday afternoon. Officers located the car they were in a few hours later, attempted a traffic stop, and pursued the car after they say the 15-year-old driver fled and ultimately crashed the vehicle. Police say all 4 of the juveniles are known to police. 3 are in the county juvenile detention center. 1 is in the hospital after being treated for injuries received in the crash. No one in the other vehicles involved was injured. Leaders in Minnesota's hospitality industry say the industry is nearing a breaking point as soaring costs and worker shortages present endless challenges. Hospitality Minnesota president and CEO Angie Whitcomb says there are fewer workers now compared to last year. A trend, she says.
Our operators are more pessimistic about economic and business conditions and their futures than they were last year. And excessive regulation, along with growing labor and food costs, leads to decreasing profits, which is preventing investment and growth.
Whitcomb is calling on state lawmakers to create policies that reflect the economics of running a business in Minnesota. Those coveted Michelin stars are coming to 6 new American cities, including Minneapolis for the first time.
President and CEO of Meet Minneapolis, Melvin Tennant, says the partnership funded through the city's Tourism Improvement District aims to transform the area from a best-kept secret to a premier destination for food travelers.
From our indigenous excellence to Midwestern seasonality, and from French-infused American, doesn't that sound great, to Somali, Hmong, Latino, and Southeast Asian cuisine, all in Minneapolis, our culinary community is propelled by deep cultural pride and purpose, and that is something visitors can savor with each and every bite.
The full list of recommendations will debut at a regional ceremony next year, celebrating culinary excellence across Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Detroit, Indianapolis, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Michelin will only be assessing restaurants within the Minneapolis city limits. The city's Tourism Improvement District paid Michelin $250,000 to be included in that guide. Meet Minneapolis President and CEO Melvin Tennant will be joining Jason to talk more about this coming up in just a few minutes.
That's right. What happened
That's right.
with St. Paul? Did they opt out, or were they not invited to the table? I can tell you we do have some answers on that.
All right.
So
stay tuned. 4:08, just a few minutes away. Investigators looking into a cyber attack in Winona County.
The county released a statement saying the attack was detected on Tuesday, and administrators quickly started to work with a forensic expert and notified the FBI and the Minnesota Cyber Resources Center to find the source. In the meantime, they say they took the affected system offline while they are working to secure and restore services safely. They say at no time was there an interruption to emergency services, and 911 fire and emergency resources continue to operate. The county requested the National Guard to help with the investigation, containment, and system restoration efforts. Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
In the 45th Minneapolis St. Paul International Film Festival kicking off tonight with a lineup of over 200 films from around the world showing over the next few weeks. WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And the commute's a little bit on the slow side for the crosstown eastbound run as midway between Tracy Avenue and Cedar Avenue. 494 slows both directions between 100 and Cedar Avenue. Traveling south 35E, got some slowing there as midway past Victoria Street, heading down to Shepherd Road. And west 694, that's jammed up Silver Lake Road to Highway 100. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Call Metro Heating and Cooling for a $109 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Metro Heating and Cooling. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The sky will clear out tonight as we fall back to 34. Still stays a little breezy. Now, the wind will settle down tomorrow. Clouds will increase. Looks like any shower activity holds off till later in the evening. Bit cooler tomorrow with a high of 50. Plenty of sunshine on Friday. Average high of 55.
Mostly cloudy right now, 53. at News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is your brain. This is your brain on News Talk 830 WCCO. Any questions? Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Boy, two conflicting stories in Laura's news at the top of the hour. We've got, on the one hand, a restaurant and hospitality scene that is falling apart near a breaking point. The combination of economics, the industry saying that they are, quote, on the brink of no return. Sounds pretty bad, right? At the same time, celebration that it's taken years for Minneapolis to be worthy in the eyes of the Michelin guide. And so I know a lot of you are thinking, what does a tire company have to do with restaurants? And it's a valid question, right? Why is Michelin rating restaurants? But Michelin has always been a guide that looks at, giving people ideas when you're driving or flying or going somewhere. So I want to talk a little bit about the Michelin guide coming only to Minneapolis, not coming to Minnesota, not coming to St. Paul. And this is a little bit about money. But as you'll hear in just a minute from a conversation I had within the last hour with Melvin Tennant, the CEO of Meet Minneapolis, it's about more than just money. As far as we know, Minneapolis was given the opportunity to join with 5 other cities. So it's Pittsburgh, it's Cleveland, it's Detroit, it's Indianapolis, and it's Milwaukee. And the Michelin guide gives out 3-star restaurants, and a 3-star is like, we have nothing even close to it in this community. 3-star restaurant is like the fanciest restaurant you've ever been to with the most attentive and most informed service you've ever experienced. They're wheeling out the bread cart for you to select what kind of bread you want. Maybe they're wheeling out a dessert cart. I have been to a couple 3-star restaurants. Most of you would hate it. Today, do I want to go to a 3-star restaurant? No. Is it cool? Yeah, it's excellence, right? A lot of these restaurants, these Michelin restaurants, are not, it's not going to be your favorite restaurant in the world. It's for people who are really looking for the art of it, the true excellence. And I do think one of the things this community does sort of a sucky job at is aspiring for excellence. Frankly, as a society, we have this idea that where we reject excellence, we reject expertise. We're very anti-intellectual in this country right now. So it is sort of interesting to see people excited about the fact that independent observers are going to anonymously go to a wide variety of our restaurants and decide who's excellent. Now, part of the danger is that they might decide none of them are worthy. It's possible. But I think we'll have at least 2 starred restaurants. And I'll tell you what I think they are coming up. But first, let's get some answers about the money, because why are we spending money on this? And to get answers, we go to the CEO of Meet Minneapolis, which is our city's tourism and convention agency, Melvin Tennant, who is with us. We taped this a little bit ago, so here's Melvin. Melvin Tennant, the CEO of Meet Minneapolis, joins us in the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. You were in Milwaukee for this announcement today. Give us a sense from your perspective, how big of a deal do you think this will be for Minneapolis?
Well, thanks for having me on, Jason.
And it is a big deal because we've long been known as a premier food destination. And this affiliation with Michelin will be a way for us to really have the receipts, so to speak. So we are excited about it.
There are always questions when you have kind of tourism agencies or government funding going for certain initiatives. You guys are spending $250,000 a year times 3 years. Give us some perspective. Is that taxpayer money? Is that a big chunk of your budget, a small chunk of your budget?
Well, Jason, we were fortunate enough to have enacted in 2023 at the state legislature enabling legislation to allow us to form a tourism improvement district, which we subsequently did. That tourism improvement district was ultimately approved by our city council last June. And what it essentially is a self-assessment of our hotels in Minneapolis, our 48 hotels within the city limits of Minneapolis, to self-assess themselves to create additional marketing funds to augment the work that we're already doing to market the destination. So it's funds from the Minneapolis Tourism Improvement District.
And I understand that tourism improvement district generates around $7 million a year. So this is really, it's like 3.5%. It's a pretty small portion of what you guys are overall spending, right?
Yes, and thank you for saying that, because this is one of several categories of marketing and sales initiatives that the Minneapolis Tourism Improvement District is allowing us to perform on their behalf. So again, we're basically trying to enhance our marketability as a destination, and this is a big step in that direction.
All right, we're getting a lot of questions as to why, like, Explore Minnesota wasn't involved, the Duluth area or the suburban area, why St. Paul is not involved. Can you give us some insight? Did they pass on the opportunity, or were they not invited into the opportunity?
Well, Jason, that's a really great question. We were invited to be a part of a consortium of cities, and as you can see from the release, there were 6 cities, and Michelin felt that this consortium of cities representing the Great Lakes region would be worth having an affiliation. And they told us, in fact, that even before this affiliation took place, their anonymous graders of restaurants have already been in the area. They're anonymous, and you don't know that they're here, but they have been here, and in the other 5 cities, to really determine if, in fact, this was a region that they felt that they wanted to partner with.
So it's your sense that, and at the news conference, there was some conversation that Detroit was sort of leading this effort and kind of coordinating it. But you're telling me that Michelin said, meet Minneapolis, we want you to be a part of it. And these are the other 5 cities.
It is both. Detroit was very in the forefront. And we look at the 6 cities as competitors in some ways, but we know from the standpoint of what particularly international visitors do, we know that we have to offer to international visitors multiple experiences. And it really made sense for these 6 cities to come together for this purpose.
Melvin Tennant is with us from Meet Minneapolis. I don't know how much Pittsburgh makes sense. Like, I get Milwaukee, I get Detroit. Like, we are extending the Great Lakes, getting all the way out to Pittsburgh. That is for sure. But everybody has to chip in, right? It is expensive to bring these inspectors into our cities. I know this as a food critic. It's expensive to eat out, especially at the caliber of restaurants we're talking about.
Well, again, that's probably a better question for Michelin to answer, but each city is participating. And as I mentioned, they told us that they've had inspectors in this region for a long time. So
that's interesting, right?
That they see in each of these cities that would warrant some sort of partnership.
And my understanding is that right now, those inspectors have a pretty good idea as to, all right, is anybody going to get 2 stars? Is anybody going to get 1 star? No one in in any of these cities is going to get 3 stars. It's just a level of opulence and elegance that we just don't have in our community, which I think is fine. You know what I mean? But then they'll be coming back to see consistency. consistency. Like, are they still good? It is like, I don't know about you, Melvin, but when I travel, I always look up, all right, who are the James Beard finalists from that region? And are there Michelin stars? It is something that I look at.
It is. That's really one of the reasons why we wanted to join together with these cities, because there's a direct tourism impact. We know, for example, that their 1-star rating, they call it worth a stop. 2 stars is worth a detour. 3 stars is worth a special journey. Wherever we land within those categories, I can't tell you. They're not going to give us any sort of pre-information about that. But clearly, if there's anything that we can do to extend the stay of visitors to our region, it is a good thing.
What is your fear on this? Because I'll tell you, I'm a little worried. What if we go to the announcement in 2027 and we have like a Boston situation where only one restaurant gets a star and it feels a little bit like a failure for us? Do you worry about that?
What we understand is that the partnership with Michelin speaks to the community's capacity to present a great culinary experience. So whether or not, however the ratings fall out, we think that it's going to help us be much more well known as a culinary destination. So I believe it's going to be a win either way.
Yeah. I'm excited too, and people focus on the stars, but the Bib Gourmand, sort of the next notch down. I think that's going to be awesome for some of our restaurants to be on that list. And that new Michelin recommended category. I mean, you might see like Kwang Restaurant, you might see a pizza place or Matt's Bar, or a taco joint. I mean, there's some excitement to see those excellent places honored too.
You're right. And they made a special point to note that they are very interested in the diversity of the culinary experience. And when we talked about what it meant to Minneapolis, we really spoke about the not only just the Midwestern seasonality, but I mentioned French infused American to Somali Hmong. And I think the Michelin inspectors are very excited about that.
Well, where are you eating to celebrate this tonight? I mean, we've been talking about this. I think I've been writing about this for a decade at least. If we had many Michelin stars, who would they be? You're going to ruin that article for me. I mean, that's been a go-to. But where do you celebrate?
Well, we're still in Milwaukee, and the Milwaukee community has something planned for us. So I'm anxious to see where they're going to take us.
Well, I love Milwaukee too. Incredible food scene, great people. That's where I went to college, so I know that city well. So I think you're going to have a great night. I'm excited about it. I don't know if everybody is. There are always haters, but I like to see Minneapolis taking a swing and trying to get a win. And this one feels good for me. So congratulations.
Thank you. It was a great team effort, not only with our team here at Minneapolis, but the teams from the other 6 cities. And what I can tell you is that having 6 cities, 6 teams of people maintain an NDA for this length of time was a wonderful, wonderful accomplishment. But I think we should be celebrating that as well.
It is impressive. Melvin Tennant from Meet Minneapolis. Thank you. I mean, they kept it quiet until today. Well, if you subscribe to my newsletter at jasonderusha.com, you did have a little hint that this was coming this week. Let's break. Do you care about this? And do you think anyone deserves to be in the list of the best in the country? 651-461-9226. Drive time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I will give the Canopy Group 3 Michelin stars. It's Jason here for my insurance experts. The Canopy Group is unbelievable in that they will go out there and do the work for you. Canopy Group has 16 different insurance companies. And if you've looked at your auto or home insurance lately, you know where prices have been going up and up and up and up. The Canopy Group will comparison shop for you. So you just reach out at thecanopygroup.com. You can give them a call. They're in Belle Plaine, Le Sueur, and Minnetonka. Just call 800-967-3389. The Canopy Group, when I called that same number, just asked a couple of questions, right? Like, how much are you paying right now? What is your coverage? What's your deductible? And then they go to work for you. Kyle went to work for me, got back to me a couple days later, saving me $820 a year and getting me better coverage. See what they can do for you. No obligation. 16 options sounds better than one agent with one company to me. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Mark your calendar, one day only, April 18th. It's the tent sale at By the Yard in Jordan. Score 20 to 50% off display sale items. Premium maintenance-free furniture at unbeatable prices. Everything is ready to go. Take it home the same day and save big. But it's one day and one day only, so don't miss out. Join us April 18th in Jordan. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
He's known for the slow burn. He wanted to keep it organic, and I'm still begging for it. More controversy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can't move on, baby doll. Waiting on calls, flipping through stations. I'm out playing.
This 507 texture is right on the money. This Michelin thing has a cool factor, no doubt. It is cool. We like to be recognized on the world stage here. I think we tend to be too modest about the things that are good about Minnesota. So having a chance to scream for the rooftops about the things that are great here, I think is good. And as the 507er says, this is largely a 1%er issue. I know people from all tiers of society, and Michelin is honestly a non-issue. Cool, sure. Relevant, maybe. Worth the giant amount of money extracted from Minnesota funds. Time will tell. So I'm going to make perhaps a controversial observation about the amount of money that is being spent on this, because I know people who love food and are outraged that the city would spend $250,000. And I know people who have zero interest in restaurants and are outraged. If this hotel tax generates $7 million that needs to be spent on tourism, $250,000 is nothing. Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Minnesota spend almost no money marketing our hotels and our restaurants. They tend to, the state promotes places, right? Like, oh, we've got this cool city that has stuff, or, oh, we've got the great outdoors. I tend to think our state tourism board spends too much time promoting the outdoors. Because if you care about the outdoors, you already know. So the idea that they're spending $250,000 times 3 years, but it's 3.5% of this money that all comes from people staying at hotels in the city of Minneapolis. I think it's barely any money. It's like a nothing. And $250,000, you can say like, well, in a time where people can't pay the rent and expenses are going up and they're talking about raising taxes, it's a different fund. You cannot take money that comes from this is how state law was set up. So I think it's sort of a tiny amount of money. Let's talk to Marty in Minneapolis. Marty, where are you at on this thing? Michelin coming to Minneapolis.
Well, it won't affect me personally because I don't dine at those type of restaurants, but I was just telling Mr. Cook that I think it's like adding another major league sports franchise to the Twin Cities metropolitan area. I mean, not everyone is a Timberwolves fan, not everyone's a Vikings fan, not everyone can afford those tickets, but it certainly adds to the prestige and the bragging rights of the metro area.
I think that's a good way to look at it, right? We spend money to support theaters, to support art, museums, which is good because if we're going to create culture and have the government supporting culture, you need those things. Just like I feel that way about pro sports teams, like you said. Even if I don't love one of those sports, I still love that we have a place for people to come together and, have fun and participate in culture. So I like that. I never heard of it that way. I like the way you phrase that.
And if one of those teams wins, oh my God, all those fans come out of the woodwork.
Yep.
So if we get 3 or 4 or 5 restaurants with 3 stars, everyone will be a foodie.
That's true. It'll be cool. Thanks, man. Good call. Very good. Thanks, Marty. I think generally speaking, my fear is that we flop. We're so excited that they're coming. And Boston has sort of a bad food scene. The reputation about Boston is not good. What would you think of food in Boston? What do you think? Chowder. Boston tends to underperform its size. We tend to overperform our size, but is it good enough? We'll see. I like the fact, as someone who goes and reviews restaurants, to bring in these sort of experts who are anonymous and have a standard of excellence. So they're not just looking for one winner or 2 winners, like the Beard Awards look for 1 winner. Here it's, are you good or not? I think Demi might be a 2-star restaurant. I think the fact that St. Paul is excluded is such a bummer for Muriel, because I think Muriel would even be in conversation for 2 stars. And then you got Karanomi's, the sushi omakase restaurant, where the chef just became a finalist for a James Beard Award. And maybe Boucheron. We had those guys on our show as well. I don't know. That's sort of my list. And then there are a bunch of on the cusp, really good restaurants that could be great. So are they good? Are they great or are they not? Well, you get to decide that. Don't leave it up to the tire company. You go where you want to go. Support your neighborhood places, and Michelin will be supporting them too, as they have their Bib Gourmand level. And then they have their recommended level. So I think it'll all be good. It'll all be good. I think we're maybe 10 years too late on this thing. Would have been nice 10 years ago when our food scene was way better than most Midwestern cities. Now, apparently, we're lumped in with Pittsburgh. That's the most offensive part to me. Pittsburgh, Cleveland? Really? All right, let's break. Saw a story in the New York Times yesterday about young men going crazy for hair loss medication. They're reaching out to dermatologists, so we reached out to ours. Dr. Mohiba Tareen will join us to talk about that in just a minute here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here with an opportunity for you to up your style and do it in a super fun way, because the Galleria at Edina in J.H. & Sons knows how to take care of you. And right now, it's such an awesome time to get the Galleria because they've got, they're in the final moments of setting up their spring flowers show. And this year, it's all like, it's 10 different designers, all this beautiful flower, all this cool stuff. So you go to the Galleria, you're going to check out the flower show. Maybe you're going to do it Friday or this weekend or next week. And I want you to stop in at J.H. & Sons. Now, they are famous for their men's tailoring. If you don't have a suit, Man, let me tell you, if you've got a special event coming up and you think you're going to put on one of those pre-COVID suits and be proud of how you, come on, you deserve it. Premium men's clothing, the Halberstadt family's been getting it done in Minnesota for more than 50 years. They started in St. Cloud. Now it's Jeff Halberstadt and his sons, and you're going to experience the difference. It's beautiful. Great service, old-fashioned service. They've got date night clothes, too. And some of you need to step it up. You know who I'm talking to. Check them out. jhandsons.com. You can sign up for their email list. Better yet, get to the store in the Galleria and tell them you heard about it from DeRUSH.
Everything's better with Twins baseball. Why, even some of those old fairy tales we grew up with.
Grandma, what big ears you have.
Oh, the
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Great. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Turn
Awesome.
up that radio.
Thank you so much for taking the time for us. We appreciate it.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you both for having me.
You bet. We'll be with you here in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you're the big bad wolf.
See? Everything's better with Twins baseball on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
I do. If it's Barufka's 521 swivel glider chair.
The 521 swivel glider chair is Craftsman direct priced from $1927 or $81 a month for 24 months. So whether it's 6 a.m. or 11 at night, you'll fall in love with 521.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing. In Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly worth your time.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Since taking office, I have delivered more than $65 million in investments back to our district. I'm also fighting to hold ICE agents accountable in Minneapolis. First and foremost, my office is here to help you. If you need to resolve issues with your Social Security or veteran benefits, please reach out to my team at omar.house.gov. When Washington isn't working for you, I will.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you! We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word, everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Why sell your house the hard way when you can sell it the easy way? When you say yes to a guaranteed cash offer from Chris Lindahl Real Estate, you can skip the line, get in the fast lane, and get a fresh start in life. Go to chrislindahl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
We're going to find some slowdowns traveling East 94 as you head toward the St. Croix River coming in from Stagecoach Trail. Actually, as far back as Neal Avenue is where you're going to find some topical stuff with construction in place, lane closure. And if you're going to be traveling through that stretch, get ready for some extra time on your ride. Southbound 35 East slows. Victoria Street heading down to Highway 13. 94 eastbound is jamming up as moving between Franklin Avenue and Snelling Avenue. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dave Lee for Aquarius Home Services. When your furnace or AC stops working, don't guess who to call. Aquarius sends the right expert fast, and you'll save $98 on any repair. With Aquarius, it's one call and problem solved. Schedule today at AquariusHomeservices.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended. Here is Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will clear out tonight. The wind will stay fairly steady as we cool back to about 34. Clouds increase tomorrow. We will see some rain showers, mainly across the southern half of the state. Should hold off till evening in the metro. Tomorrow's high around 50, a little cooler. Wind will be calmer. Plenty of sunshine on Friday. Looks like a great day with a high of 55. We do warm this weekend with a pretty good slug of rain coming in late Saturday into Tuesday.
Live radar right now showing light rain all over the metro area in Minneapolis. It is warm, though. We got that going for us. 53 degrees here on CCM.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
You guys know that I am very comfortable talking about hair loss, talking about various treatments that I have used and tried. I've gotten a hair transplant. I am also being treated by our next guest. Dr. Mohiba Tareen is my dermatologist, and she joins us via video link up. Dr. Tareen, good to see you.
Thank you for having me on, and your hair is looking fabulous.
I mean, thank you. You know, it takes there's really a team effort here. I have, as you know, right? Like it's
Happy
apply.
to be part of that team, Jason.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's a lot. I'm very high maintenance. I'm high. Maybe I was on the front edge of this here as a Gen Xer, as an over 50-year-old guy. This is something that my generation never talked about. You were trying to cover it up. If you had any hair loss treatment, you didn't tell anybody. But there's a new generation, and this was the focus of a big story in the New York Times Magazine this weekend that a friend sent to me. And I'm like, oh, I got to talk to Dr. Tareen about this. And it's titled The Hair Loss Drug Rewriting the Rules of Masculinity. Let's talk first about the generational thing that's happening, right? Because you're seeing it in your practice.
I mean, I see it all the time. So my patients who are between, 50 and 90, they don't really talk about their hair loss. They grin and bear it. And then my patients, they may be 15 or 16 and their parents are bringing it up, Jason, or they may be 20 or 30 and just starting getting a little bit of thinning and they want to get on top of it. As you know, it is better to keep your hair than try to regrow it. So I'm really excited that there is a conversation, a dialogue about it, because it's not that my patients who are 50, 60, 70, 80 don't care that they're thinning. It's just that they may feel a little bit more stigma about talking about it, Jason.
And it is harder if you're losing, like you said, to regrow. Even the incredible advancements we have in lasers and prescription drugs, it's hard to make the hair come back after it's decided the party's over,
Absolutely. And we may have, all these burgeoning treatments, as you alluded to. Stem cells, there's lasers, there's exosomes, there's everything. But right now in 2026, we only have a few FDA-approved options.
So in this story in the New York Times, they talked about one particular pill. And I think people of a certain age, we remember the two big prescription options that were out originally, Rogaine and Propecia.
Right.
And to explain in this story, they were talking about a pill called finasteride. Tell us about that.
So finasteride is the generic name for Propecia. It was FDA approved in 1997, so almost 30 years ago. So this is not a new medicine. And in fact, my husband, Jason, he's a urologist, and that's another group of doctors that deal with the side effects of this pill. He literally said to me, he said, Mohiba, why are people talking about this medicine now? It's been around for so long.
Is it because of all of the online, I think if you're in your 20s and 30s and a guy, you're getting bombarded with ads from Hims and some of these online prescription outlets sort of pushing finasteride.
Absolutely. So Propecia is cheap. It's relatively safe. Let's talk about the side effects. That's really what the meat of this article was. But now these online pharmacies are pushing it to younger people with no doctor's visits, no oversight. And that's where I see the problems, Jason.
Yeah, because what we're finding, and you've known this all along, but there are side effects, not for everyone, but there are side effects. And when you're dealing with something, man, what was really interesting to me about this is sort of the debate. What's more important to you? Having more hair, or what's the number one side effect that we worry about?
Sexual dysfunction, sexual side effects, premature ejaculation, loss of libido, fertility issues, and sometimes depression.
So there was one guy, one influencer quoted in this story, and you mentioned this to me earlier, looks maxing, right? Like this is a very popular sort of 20-something thing online for guys to maximize the way they look. I'm sure you and all of the women listening are like, good, it's about time you guys have some of that pressure.
That's right. But I think it's kind of going in the other direction because people are coming in feeling that they just need to, like do dangerous things when maybe they don't need to,
Yeah, I think that's the question. And they had a couple guys quoted in this article where it's like, okay, if you could choose between losing your hair or losing your critical equipment to perform the function we're talking about, which would you pick? And these guys were picking their hair.
I was kind of surprised about that too, but you know what?
What are you going to do with that?
Decision.
What are you going to do with that beautiful head of hair if you've sacrificed? I mean, let's think the long game, gentlemen.
You know what? Maybe survival of the fittest. Maybe, those genes weren't meant to propagate into society, Jason, if you know what I mean.
I do. Yes. Genes from a genetic standpoint and some of those literal blue genes as well, or maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting because with any cosmetic type medical intervention, you're always weighing, okay, is the upside worth whatever the potential downside would be?
Absolutely. And that's why these online places are really concerning to me as a physician.
Yeah.
I mean, coming back to like even GLPs, so many people get their GLP medications from online pharmacies these days. And when they have a problem, God forbid, you get pancreatitis, you get thyroid cancer, something like that, they say to me, Dr. Tareen, nobody at the online pharmacy is getting back to me. What are my next steps? So you really have to critically look at who's prescribing it. If you are the 1% of people who get the side effects, do you have somebody to back you up, Jason?
Yeah. Are there ways, I mean, that you can sort of ease someone on this stuff because the side effects, are they reversible, I guess, once you start going down that road?
So the name of the constellation of symptoms is called post-finasteride syndrome. So it has a name. It's a full disease, post-finasteride syndrome. And it's reversible in the majority of people who take it, as you read in the article. But there's a small percent of people, and again, people like urologists, like my husband, deal with them, and they have irreversible sexual side effects, loss of libido, erectile dysfunction. They cannot, get their significant other pregnant. So it is a really important discussion that your doctor should have with you and monitor you. And just as you asked, I, as a dermatologist, really will slowly get my patients on these medications. You just don't go to full dose right away. Like if an 18-year-old is starting to thin and they want to start a medication, we may have a discussion of finasteride, but we may have a discussion of oral minoxidil. So you alluded to Rogaine, which is the topical form, but there's also oral minoxidil, which just dilates the blood vessels. It does not cause any hormonal issues.
Dr. Mohiba Tareen is with us from Tareen Dermatology. I think it's cool that guys at a younger age have more options. I mean, let's be real. Like, if you can keep your hair, you would rather keep your hair. I think Dan is here. Dan is bald. I think Dan is a beautiful man. So I think it's all good, whatever you choose.
I'm the rare case that I look way better without hair than I ever did with it. So
I think it's all good, right? But if all things being equal, if you're 24 and ask a guy, do you want to keep your hair? I think you'd say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The idea that you should talk to a doctor about it instead of just like, it is sort of crazy to me, sort of the medication that people take just by getting a prescription online, and especially when it's not embarrassing to talk about it.
And it's covered by insurance. Come on. So go see your doctor if you are at risk, I mean, there are people we already know, if you already have a history of depression, if you have ejaculatory disorders, maybe you don't go on oral finasteride. Maybe you go on the alternative. And one thing we haven't talked about is there are non-invasive things you can do topically now that, have minimal side effects. They may not be as cost effective, but, how do you balance that against never having a baby?
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that's really smart to think through. Dr. Tareen, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for letting me be your doctor and prescribe your medications.
She gave me, I got a half pill to get started just to make sure everything's okay. And let me just tell you, there have been no complaints in this department. No complaints.
Alyssa looks very happy, if I must say.
Thanks, Mohiba. Dr. Mohiba Tareen with us here on CCO 448. We'll break in a minute. Michelle Tafoya on the morning show today. We'll hear what she had to say coming up.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, what are you having for dinner? And why isn't it Minnesota pork? It's Jason here for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. I am so proud to tell the story of these 3,000 family farmers every corner of the state. I think a lot of times when you go to the grocery store, you don't think about the food being from a family. And here in Minnesota, 3,000 family farmers operate every farm that leads to what we call the Minnesota Pork Board. So when you go for that pork chop or that delicious pork tenderloin, just looking at the images here at tastewhatporkcando.com. It's got me saying, oh yeah. Tastewhatporkcando.com is a great website to check out. Put flavor on the table. Yes, eggs are awesome. Ham, we loved it on Easter. We're getting into barbecue season. It's almost rib season. Recipes, inspiration, all sorts of stuff right at tastewhatporkcando.com. Get to the grocery store and butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all, because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep, now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic down to 2 lanes, East 94 as you head into Wisconsin. Get ready for your slowdowns past Neal Avenue to head across the St. Croix River as the work begins for the summer as you make way through that area. If you're going to be traveling 394 eastbound, still got your jam up there 100 into downtown Minneapolis. North 100, pretty much slowdowns in place off and on from Bren Road all the way up to I-94. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Looks like the rain has mostly moved out of Minneapolis right now, headed more towards the east metro. Tonight, mainly clear after this gets out of here, low of 34. Tomorrow, scattered showers possible by the evening, high of 50. And Friday, 55 and sunny. Finally, a nice-looking day on Friday. Right now, it is 53 on CCO.
Jason DeRUSH.
You are worth the price of admission every single day because I have no bleeping idea what you are capable of saying.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I would run through a fire just to be by your side. If your heart's on the line, you can take mine. It's crazy, but it's true.
For the first time, Michelle Tafoya, since she announced she was running for Congress as a Republican, running for the Senate, finally did an interview with a sort of mainstream media outlet. For the most part, she's done podcast interviews, conservative-leaning media. And Michelle was on with Tom Hauser today, and again, showing why I think she is going to be a very strong candidate. She, of course, after all those years on Monday Night Football, she hosted a show in this time slot here on CCO. She's an excellent communicator. Now, will she be conservative enough for the base? Who knows? But if I'm her, I'm running in the primary anyway, and you're going to win. I think she's probably going to win. And then what happens at the general level, I don't know. But Tom asked her about that sort of controversial, sort of suck it up comment, skip your Starbucks for people complaining about gas prices.
Any second thoughts about that comment? Some people found to be out of touch with what a lot of people are experiencing in terms of the expense of just daily life.
I feel the expense of daily life just like everyone else does. Of course, my opponents are going to take it and twist it. What I was saying at the time was we've got men and women over in Iran putting their lives on the line for this effort, some of them not coming home. And this is a blip. This is what we hope to be a short-term bit of pain. And it used to be in America that when our servicemen and women were fighting abroad, we did everything we could to support them. In some cases, you look back at World War II, there were people were volunteering here at home. There were drives for supplies. There were people who were putting their time on the, giving of their time. And so my point was, how about we just think of this as a short-term sacrifice that we're making on behalf of the country and the effort to get rid of this cancer over in the Middle East.
So you can hear the whole interview on Vanita's podcast. But Dan, I mean, that's sort of the point I made after she was getting roasted for it, that I think what she was saying was reasonable.
Yeah, I think if you took the Starbucks part out of it,
right.
I think a lot of people would go,
yeah,
would
we probably
agree
should sacrifice. There are
Right.
people being killed.
So that was the misstep initially. And she, I think she framed it very well there.
We'll have more from Michelle coming up in the DeRUSH Hour news headline.
And folks should go listen to that interview because Tom did then follow up on the difference between maybe this Iran conflict and other wars that she was trying to cite. It was a really good interview.
She's good, man. She's good at this. Like, where is she going to be on the issues? She has no experience in a legislative body. I thought she'd run for governor, to tell you the truth. Continental Diamond time check right now, 4:57. Graduation coming up. Wouldn't a luxury timepiece be a great, memorable gift for your loved one? Check them out in St. Louis Park at Continental Diamond.
Chad back here with you. I want to talk about trust and peace of mind. We all need it, in particular in some areas, including your insurance. Maybe it's for your business, or maybe it's more traditional with your house and your car. For me, I have trusted Amber Scholl and Associates with American Family for, what are you guessing, 5 years, 10 years? No, my entire family, whether it's my father or my kids, with American Family, with Amber in particular, for 30 years. We dread something bad happening with our house, with a car accident, but we need people with expertise, with professionalism and availability, and that's what Amber and her team are all about. Reach out to them today. It's worth it. Trust me. 651-738-4811.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Minnesota's source for news, weather, traffic, talk, and Twins baseball. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Trump administration says it's ready for the next step toward peace with Iran following the 2-week ceasefire agreement. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended President Trump's threat that, quote, a whole civilization will die if Iran failed to agree to a 2-week ceasefire. So now comes the next step.
The president is dispatching his negotiating team.
And Leavitt says those talks in Islamabad this weekend come with this condition.
So long as the Strait of Hormuz remains open, with no limitations or delays.
The fragile nature of the ceasefire has already been displayed as Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz following Israeli strikes in Lebanon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Rex Heuermann pleads guilty to killing 7 women between 1993 and 2011 in what are known as the Long Island Gilgo Beach murders. The judge asks Heuermann,
are you pleading guilty voluntarily and of your own free will? Yes.
Heuermann also admitted to murdering an 8th woman, but was not charged in that case. After the hearing, Melissa Kahn, sister of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, expressed relief that justice has finally been served.
Maureen was never forgotten, not for a single moment. From the day she went missing until today, she has been carried in every breath, every memory, every fight for answers.
Crews are on the scene of a deadly partial collapse at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia parking garage, which is under construction. CBS News Philadelphia's Ross DiMattei.
One construction worker who was trapped in that collapse involving that parking garage was rushed here to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, and we have since learned that that worker has died. We've also learned from Philadelphia Fire that 2 others are currently being searched for by crews at the scene where the collapse happened.
Philly's fire commissioner says crews are working on stabilizing the structure before resuming search and rescue operations. Astronauts on Artemis II are testing a few maneuvers today. Flight Entry Director Rick Henfling says one is so the crew can continue to power the subsystems in the spacecraft.
The crew is going to center the Earth in the field of view of one of the windows, and then they're going to fly the spacecraft to an attitude where the tail points towards the sun.
There's a debate about the citizenship of a newborn.
Caribbean Airlines ended up with a new passenger on its flight from Kingston, Jamaica to JFK International Airport Saturday when a pregnant passenger gave birth in the air. Air traffic control had a conversation with the pilots.
Is it out yet?
Yes, sir. All right. Tell her she's got to name it Kennedy.
But experts are debating the citizenship of the newborn, with some saying if the baby was born within 12 nautical miles of the U.S. coastline, the child would automatically qualify for birthright citizenship. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mostly cloudy, 51 degrees at 5:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Leaders of Minnesota's hospitality industry are painting a grim picture today, saying many businesses are nearing the breaking point.
Hospitality Minnesota President and CEO Angie Whitcomb says elected officials need to step in or risk losing a vital economic engine.
These aren't faceless corporations. These are family businesses, neighborhood restaurants, independent hotels that have survived a pandemic and are still fighting to keep their doors open and their people employed. And the path forward exists, but it requires policy that reflects the real economics of running a business in Minnesota.
Whitcomb says Minnesota has fewer hospitality jobs now than at this time last year, particularly in the metro area. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
The Michelin Guide is officially bringing its world-renowned restaurant rating system to Minneapolis. President and CEO of Meet Minneapolis, Melvin Tennant, says the move validates years of growth in the city's diverse dining scene.
We're taking a major step on the global stage. As we know, we're here for that purpose. And if there are any secrets left about Minneapolis as a top food city, joining together with the Michelin Guide will remove any of that doubt. We're very excited about that.
Michelin will only be assessing restaurants within the city of Minneapolis since the process was funded by service charges from city businesses. The Minneapolis Tourism Improvement District paid Michelin $250,000 to be included in the guide for the next 3 years. We're getting a little bit of insight into the Minneapolis City Council and its seeming lack of support for Police Chief Brian O'Hara. A KSTP TV report revealed that if the vote would be taken today, the chief would not have enough support for another term. Councilmember Michael Rainville says he was surprised to hear that.
I don't know what Channel 5 knows that I don't know, but I saw that news story too, and that was news to me.
The council will vote to approve 3 positions tomorrow for city attorney, operations manager, and community safety commissioner. O'Hara's position is not on that list. Mayor Jacob Fry has until August to formally recommend him for another term. Minneapolis police arrest 4 juveniles in connection with a carjacking and robbery spree late Tuesday afternoon. They range in age from 15 to 17. None of the victims were injured. Attorneys for 2 Minnesota school districts and the state's largest teachers union are asking a federal judge to block a Trump administration policy that gave immigration authorities a freer hand to conduct enforcement actions in and near schools. And the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District ramping up plans to spray for mosquitoes in the coming weeks. But right now, they're focused on what could be a bumper crop of deer ticks this spring. Spokesman Alex Carlson says they saw an increased number of larval ticks last fall, and now those are emerging as nymphs.
And that's actually the most dangerous stage. That's when they're poppy seed size, so really, really small. So they can attach for several days without being noticed. And that's when the diseases can get spread. And then they actually fall off, and then they kind of wait until they reemerge again in the fall as adults.
Deer ticks can carry Lyme disease, which can cause serious health complications and, in rare cases, death in both people and pets. WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
You ready for slowdowns? East 94 as you head into Wisconsin, making your way past Neal Avenue and into the work zone at the St. Croix River Bridge. Things a bit slow for 494 northbound, Highway 7, heading up toward Carlson Parkway. South 169 is jammed up, Anderson Lakes Parkway, heading down to 101. And 35W southbound slows moving from 98th Street down to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
An air conditioner at Metro Heating and Cooling is, on average, only $5,400 installed. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Metro Heating and Cooling. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
The sky will clear out tonight as we fall back to 34. Still stays a little breezy. Now, the wind will settle down tomorrow. Clouds will increase. Looks like any shower activity holds off till later in the evening. Bit cooler tomorrow with a high of 50. Plenty of sunshine on Friday. Average high of 55.
Mostly cloudy right now, 51 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The conversation doesn't end at the headline. It's just the beginning. Let's dive in. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSH.
Oh, it's good to be with you. Hour 3, Drive Time with DeRUSH. Big news of the day in my world has been that Michelin coming to the Twin City and not coming to I'm kind of mad about it. I got to be honest.
Now shut up and drive.
You know, good for Minneapolis. You heard Laura explaining how Minneapolis, they set up this funding mechanism where hotels send a percentage of the money. So $250,000 is what the city is spending. It's expensive to send anonymous inspectors to come stay at our hotels, go to the restaurants. These aren't cheap places. So I get why it costs a lot of money. But it sort of stinks that it's Minneapolis. It's not St. Paul. It's not Travail and Robbinsdale. They don't get considered. It's not anywhere up in Duluth. I feel bad for this new restaurant that's going into St. Paul called Aubergine, which they certainly had aspirations of being at that level of quality. At a certain point, it doesn't matter, right? Like, who cares what some tire company has to say about our restaurant? But if I were going to open a fancy restaurant right now, would I open it in St. Paul or would I open it in Minneapolis? Well, if you open in Minneapolis, at least you have a shot of getting in the Michelin guide. I like our cities to be competitive with each other, but I don't know. I eat on both sides of the river. I don't think about one city or the other. I eat all over the state. I think it's a bummer. I don't know if there was a way to prevent this from happening, but I do think it's a bummer. Let's update you on everything that's going on throughout the Twin Cities. We're going to talk gas prices, if we can expect those to drop. If we got all the ifs, if the Iran war ceasefire holds, let's do that in about 10 minutes. But first, the DeRUSH Hour news headline.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And the lead story is, what on earth is going on at HCMC? We have heard much conversation about the fact that the main safety net hospital, honestly, of Minnesota, is in massive financial trouble. But over the last week, they've had 2 top administrators step down. First, Kevin Croston stepped down about a week ago. He was mad that commissioners at the county board were micromanaging, in his term, the solutions that he thought needed to be put into place. Then interim administrator David Huff resigned. So now we got another new one. John Cumming, Dr. John Cumming is the new CEO. But, you know, if I'm John, I'm not ordering the new drapes for the office yet. If I'm Hennepin Healthcare, I'm probably not engraving the nameplate. Massive financial problems, and this absolute wheel of management over there, spin the wheel and see who's working this week, is very concerning. Cumming was a trauma surgeon. He's a healthcare exec. He was interim CEO at Hennepin Healthcare from 2019 to 2020. He had unanimous support. But this is a tough job. They need stable funding for the legislature. And if they don't get that, I don't know what happens. What will that stable funding be? A state rep from Minneapolis introduced a bill to increase the Target Field Stadium sales tax surcharge. Right now, it's 0.15% in Hennepin County. This bill would increase it to 1%. That's a pretty big tax increase. It would only be sales tax. But in this climate, is that going to find much love over at an evenly divided legislature? I doubt it. I doubt it. So we will see what happens there. Michelle Tafoya making a little bit of news today. Senate candidates, the other Republicans, they're blasting Michelle Tafoya for not taking part in an April 7th debate. 4 Republicans were a part of this debate. This is really a delegate race. Royce White, who was the endorsed candidate last year, said at the debate that delegates need someone with, quote, just a touch of crazy to get the country out of crazy times. Adam Schwarzy, a former Marine and Navy SEAL, said he's on Team Trump and he would be great. And then former White House fellow Mark York said, what if we had somebody with detailed policy plans? Michelle Tafoya was not at that debate, but she did take part in an interview with Tom Hauser, who was in for Vanita Sawkar this morning on WCCO Radio, where Michelle was asked about President Donald Trump's absolutely over-the-top profane post on Truth Social on Easter morning.
Is that language necessary to achieve the goals that he's trying to achieve?
There's a good piece by Matthew Hennessy in the Wall Street Journal this morning that I think is worth looking at, and that is that mean tweets are not war crimes. And you got to kind of take a deep breath and understand the audience that is being spoken to through these tweets. We'll see if that was the language necessary. Everyone's going to, it's baked in. This is the president that we have, and this is his MO. And again, I think there were other audiences under consideration, not you, Tom, not me, not necessarily Americans, but other audiences whom he was directing those statements to. So language is not a war crime. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I mean, you could say, I wouldn't use that language. I guess no upside as you're trying to appeal to Republican delegates, but no, language is not a war crime. I don't. Was anybody saying it was? I don't think so. People have said he's threatening war crimes, but no, mean tweets are not a war crime. But I do think a valid question is, what's your style going to be? Is it going to be the style of Michelle Tafoya, the podcaster, the conservative podcaster, or is it going to be, the reasonable Michelle Tafoya you hear in that interview with Tom, that you can check out the whole thing on the podcast page, Vanita Sawkar's podcast, The Morning News, and it's worth a listen. Check that out. Next, Stillwater. News that their first cannabis shop is going to open next week.
This is kind of neat. What is it?
Oh, it's from New Guinea. It's a ceremonial spirit box.
Wow, that's cool. What do you do with it?
You put your weed in there.
Exactly what you do with it. In Stillwater, they are opening Silver Therapeutics. I gotta say it, when it comes to your cannabis shops, do you want the more medical sounding, wellness sounding name, Silver Therapeutics? Or do you want more of the Cheech and Chong style, yuck, 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 wheat, Wayne's Wacky Weed Emporium or something? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Stillwater City Council approved their retail registration unanimously. So they got their license last week. All their building permits are done. They do have 2 other proposed cannabis retail locations, including mango cannabis. That's going in the former Devil's Advocate. And there's another store without a name. So 3 different weed shops so far approved by the Stillwater City Council. A lot of vacationing in Stillwater over the summer, especially. So 3 shops going in there. You know, I'm going to go to Melt Pizza, and I'm going to go to Lolo, and I go to Domichin, and I'm probably not going to go to Silver Therapeutics. But good for them. This was an interesting observation made by the people at Bring Me the News. The park board in Minneapolis used some different language when they posted that all of our lakes were open water. The park board used the term ice off. Ice off officially declared on all Minneapolis lakes. I get it. I get it. For years, you would declare ice out, right? Park staff have tracked ice off dates on 15 lakes for decades, is what they said in the post. Ice off is declared. I mean, at a certain point, like, this is so ridiculous, right? Like, no, you have tracked ice out dates. It doesn't really matter.
Well, especially if you're going to still include the word ice. Isn't that the problem? The out isn't the problem, is it?
It's because of the soundbite you played.
I mean, I
it's
guess,
the catchphrase. Ice out? What? You declared ice out? I don't know. If they were declaring ice on. Look, in the scheme of things, there's no one more woke than the Minneapolis Park Board.
Yeah.
So you know that they are going to be.
So wouldn't they want the ice out chant? I mean,
maybe. Like, oh, we don't want to trigger anyone.
Don't just say we're officially unfrozen.
I mean, it's rough. It's rough. All right, let's break. We're going in depth in just a minute on gas prices. What are you seeing out there? Are you feeling the pain? I am not full of confidence based on the latest lack of news. Although after the ceasefire announcement, oil prices have dropped quite a bit. How long before we see that at the gas pump? We'll speak with one of the nation's premier gas price experts in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRUSH is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Jason here for Dr. Mohiba Tareen and Tareen Dermatology. Dr. Tareen joined us last hour. We're talking about male hair loss and some of the prescription medications that are available. And Dr. Tareen really made the point that, hey, if you just go online and get your prescription, you don't have anybody asking all the right questions about what are your risk factors. And there are potential complications of all of these things. Go see Dr. Mohiba Tareen. If you have hair loss concerns or questions about your kids or grandkids, Dr. Mohiba Tareen and her 10 locations, they can take care of you. Now, medical issues, they got you covered. I absolutely love that you can go online to Tareen, Tareen, dermatology.com, request an appointment, and they will get you in 3 weeks. At some of their locations, they'll get you in even faster. They're all over the Twin Cities, Hudson. They're at Eagan. They're at Lakeville. I go to Roseville. So does my wife. So do my in-laws. That's how much I believe in Dr. Tareen. Check her out on the podcast or on the YouTube channel. But make that appointment and tell them you heard Dr. Tareen here on Drive Time.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Little kids are so direct.
I have to go potty.
And so is Barufka's Furniture, because direct is the only way we sell furniture.
Barufka's everyday craftsman direct pricing is often lower than our competitors' sale prices.
We work directly with our builders, keep our overhead low, and work our tails off in order to offer the lowest possible prices. We don't believe in shipping containers, slow boats from Asia, or particle board construction. 95.67% of Barufka's furniture is built in the U.S.
Barufka's wood, stain, fabric, and leather choices, along with a team of designers eager to help you put it all together, results in a unique look that achieves your sense of style and decor.
When it's time
I have to go potty.
for something new for your home, see the Craftsman Direct difference at Barufka's.
No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing in Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly direct.
Access to affordable credit helps me pay my employees, but I don't really need it.
Inflation is killing me. But who cares? Big retailers are making record profits. That's why we support the Durbin Marshall credit card bill.
See? Banks and credit unions help small businesses make payroll. This bill would cut the vital resources they need.
While increasing megastore profits. They deserve it, don't they?
Tell Congress, stop the Durbin Marshall money grab for corporate megastores.
Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Jason DeRUSH.
I have never really been a fan of his, but the truth of the matter is the guy really does care. My opinion has completely changed about the guy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rush Hour News headlines going in depth this evening on gas prices. We are feeling it here in Minnesota, maybe less so than the rest of the country, than much of the country. But I don't know that makes you feel any better when you're spending 60 or 70 or $100 to fill up your tank. To get some insight, and obviously at this moment, we don't know if the ceasefire is going to hold or not in Iran. But Patrick DeHaan from GasBuddy.com has been watching how this conflict has impacted gas prices and the uncertainty. Patrick, thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Obviously, the uncertainty over whether the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open or not that's got to be the number one factor, right?
It really is. And we're getting to the point where, talking about it, mentioning it is completely different than seeing what is happening in the Strait, whether or not ships are going through. We've had a couple of these where the president has mentioned, reopen the Strait or this and that, and Iran now has said okay, but then they immediately stopped it because of new Israel attacks on Hezbollah. So, a lot of words, but at the end of the day, it's really just the fact if ships are transiting through the Strait of Hormuz or not. That's really the only impact, or the impact that the market cares about most.
Here in Minnesota, our gas prices are well below the national average, right? In Minnesota, we're at about $3.70 or so a gallon of unleaded. Yeah. The rest of the country is over $4, right?
Yeah, most of the nation is, though, as you mentioned, you go to these deep inland areas where gasoline is kind of landlocked, and you're getting basically a discounted price. So really much of the nation's interior, the Great Lakes states, the plains, what if you want to call it the Midwest and the Rockies, all these areas are areas where refineries can't easily put gasoline on a barge and ship it somewhere. So it's because the markets are more insulated from the global market that you're paying a little bit less. And especially when it comes to diesel too. I mean, diesel has been absolutely white hot lately. And that's more of where you're seeing a more pronounced cost benefit in areas like Minnesota, where diesel prices are well below what they are nationally. Nationally, $5.65 a gallon. So, the good news though here in the last 12 hours with the ceasefires, at least oil markets are for now taking a breather. As a motorist, I suppose we should take any small victories that we can. And I don't know that this is going to be long lasting because the ceasefire is very fragile, appearing delicate. And I don't think Iran is going to give up its bargaining chip with the Strait of Hormuz. So I don't think this downturn in oil is going to last. But for now, as we head closer to the weekend, it does look like prices at the pump may inch a little bit lower, especially for diesel. But highlighting it's uncertain. So if something changes in 12 hours, that could just throw things completely back out of whack.
Patrick DeHaan with GasBuddy.com. Look, let's assume that the Strait stays open. We know from monitoring this, I know for covering this for 20 years, that the ability for gas prices to go down happens much slower than the skyrocketing up whenever something changes in the global market. What are some of the things you're looking at for when the gas prices, if the Strait stays open, would start to go down?
Well, they would really start to go down rather quickly. I know motorists look at prices. This is certainly something I live and breathe. And, the way my brain wants to explain this is that, wholesale gas prices are volatile. They're all over the map. Even yesterday, wholesale gas prices for retailers in Minnesota jumped 30 cents a gallon. Now they're down about 30 cents a gallon. So it's important to understand that stations raise prices quickly when costs jump to avoid losses. When costs go down dramatically, they lower prices gradually as they sell through that more expensive inventory. I think of it this way. Instead of prices bouncing wildly from station to station by 30, 40, or 60 cent differences, what drivers actually see at the pump is really a slower climb and a slower descent than the climb was. And, I'd been waiting prior to this week for prices to jump up across Minnesota. We didn't see it. It took 4 days for stations to pass along the increases. So even on the increase side, stations are actually not going up as quick as the market is. And that's also why then they have to lower prices slower because they're recouping margins. Prices didn't go up on their side as fast as the market went up. And so they use this time when prices are declining to reabsorb some of that margin they lost out on.
Interesting. It's so interesting. And we are in a different spot, right? In that much of our oil here in Minnesota comes from Canada. And the refining, we have refineries here in Minnesota. The rest of the country is looking a little bit. I mean, as the Strait comes back online, there still are, it's going to take a little bit of time to get the refineries and storage facilities and oil fields and gas fields, all of this in the Middle East that's been targeted in strikes during the war to get back in action too. So there's a lot to watch before we, especially as you get close to the summer and people start thinking about taking road trips,
Yeah, and to your point, I would estimate it like this. Every day the Strait essentially remains mostly closed or all closed, it's going to take another week for the market to fully recover from top to bottom, from things that are destroyed to being resupplied. So, we're roughly at over 35, maybe 38 days into this. We're talking about potential full relief taking 35 to 38 weeks. And every day that continues, I mean, hey, if we go another 15 days, we're going to be at like 52 weeks needed to recover.
Yeah. And your point to the diesel prices, that's the sort of stuff that affects everything that we buy, everything that gets shipped. And that we don't see that on a sign when we're driving down Main Street, at the gas station. But that is something that ends up impacting us in the wallet for a long time.
Yeah, just imagine you were pulling in and paying the price for diesel for gasoline. That's the sticker shock that is coming in the U.S. economy, and it's not going to be good.
Patrick DeHaan, GasBuddy.com. You can find the cheapest gas in your area, checking out that app, and we appreciate your insight and analysis. Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Apple is adding 4 new partners to its U.S. manufacturing expansion plans. Bosch, Cirrus Logic, TDK, and Qnity Electronics will manufacture essential materials and components in the U.S. for Apple products, with the iPhone maker investing $400 million in the companies through 2030. Apple says it's part of the company's $600 billion 4-year commitment to U.S. manufacturing and innovation. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, it's Jason here with a challenge for you. A challenge to achieve the you that you've always wanted to achieve. Livia Weight Control Centers is, I credit Livia for changing my life. I really do. And I'm not being over dramatic here. I lost 45 pounds and I've kept all that weight off thanks to the team at Livia. Now, I want you to go to their brand new website, livia.com. And I know it's just a website. Who cares? But the website really does a great job of telling the story of what really appealed to me about Livia. I reached out to them because I knew that it wasn't just going to be about a food solution for me. It wasn't going to be some sort of crazy, trendy diet. I needed the whole deal. Counseling, personalized nutrition service. Today, you can bring GLP-1 treatments into the mix, hormone replacement therapy for men and for women, metabolic care. I mean, they've got Livia Medical and Livia Nutrition. This is a powerful combination and so much better than just an online prescription. So reach out to my team. 45 pounds gone. Can you believe it? Be honest, did you think I was going to keep that weight off? I'm not 100% sure myself if I thought I would do it. GLP-1 starting at just $99. Nutrition at $19 a week. Livia.com, Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents. So when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Lindis Construction, lindisconstruction.com. Got your slowdowns crosstown westbound 34th Ave as you head over 235W. 494 northbound still heavy, Highway 7 to 394. 169 northbound jams past County Road 81 to 610. And then East 94, got your slowdowns there. Typical stuff, Riverside into the area of Snelling Avenue. Protect your home before spring storms arrive. Choose GAF asphalt shingles and receive free installation labor this April. Go to lindisconstruction.com. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Brainerd International Raceway presents a GSTA Rod and Custom Spectacular April 11th and 12th indoors at Canterbury Park Expo Center in Shakopee. Visit GSTA-Rod-Custom.com for more information and discount tickets. Free parking, too.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by the GSTA Rod and Custom Spectacular, April 11th and 12th. Here is the always spectacular Chris Schaefer.
The clouds will clear out tonight. The wind will stay fairly steady as we cool back to about 34. Clouds increase tomorrow. We will see some rain showers, mainly across the southern half of the state. Should hold off till evening in the metro. Tomorrow's high around 50, a little cooler. Wind will be calmer. Plenty of sunshine on Friday. Looks like a great day with a high of 55. We do warm this weekend with a pretty good slug of rain coming in late Saturday into Tuesday.
Rain looks like it's mostly gone. 52 degrees in downtown St. Paul here on CCO.
Steering you through what matters. Drive time with DeRUSH. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I have had enough. Enough is enough. Enough.
Oh, it's time to get it off your chest. I feel like people should be ready to rock, right? Ready to rock with what they have had enough of. I want to hear about it at 651-461-9226. Something on your mind that you have had enough of. Because keeping it bottled up, it doesn't do anybody any good, does it? I don't think so. So let's hear it. 651-461-9226. Dan, can I start?
I hope you would.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm going to start with bag fees at the airport. There was a time where they just paid us, or they just charged us. It was a better time when they paid us to fly. There was a time when you just look at the price of an airline ticket and you buy it, and you got to bring a bag and you check one and carry one on. It's a more innocent time for some of the kids out there listening. You used to be able to just show up at the airport too and roll right up to the gate. Good times. Someone would ask you to pick them up at the airport, and they meant like you'd park the car and wait for them at the gate. You could just walk right in. It was amazing. I'm not proposing that we go back to that. I am a fan of security. But Delta has hiked the checked baggage fee to $45. And I have had enough of us being charged to check a bag. Who is screwing up the loading and the disembarking of the airport, of the airline? It's every ding-dong and their ginormous luggage that they bought some influencer online or whatever, and they're jamming it in to this 40-year-old plane's overhead compartment. And now you got, grandma trying to reach, and you're like, let me help you get this. And now the whole thing's all backed up. And none of this would be a problem if the airlines would just stop charging for checked bags. It should be free to check a bag, and you could charge $50 for someone to carry it. You could charge $100 for all I care. Enough with charging for checked bags. I think it is idiotic. It drives me nuts. It incentivizes people to walk around the airport with their big, dumb bag, and then their backpack, and then their neck pillow, and their charging station. Get out of my way and get rid of this. Got me more mad than I thought I was going to.
You're pretty fired up. I like it.
Enough. 651-461-9226. That is my enough. Dan Cook.
I've had enough of timid drivers. Now, again, all road construction comes down to how does this affect me?
Sure.
So 394 West being shut down from downtown Minneapolis out to Highway 100 directly affects me.
Okay.
What affects me even more is that the way you got to get out of downtown to get onto West 394 now is they divert you into the sane lanes, into the Min Pass lanes.
Right.
Requires you're sort of working around. You go down Hennepin, you go by the Basilica, you go by Dunwoody, and then you're hooking on to the sane lanes kind of from underneath.
It's a journey.
It's a journey to get there. But then the on-ramp is not, there's not a whole lot of lane beyond the on-ramp. Like when you get to the end of the on-ramp, you are on 394 at this point. And everybody that's coming from like the 3rd Street exit or whatever it is in downtown Minneapolis, they're already up to speed. So you got to be going when you get to the top of that ramp. And the number of people that are trying to do 35, 40 miles an hour when they get to the top of that ramp with 60-mile-an-hour cars coming from behind them drives me insane. You're getting on the freeway. Put the foot down. Let's go.
It's
because
scary, though. It's scary.
And don't drive on the freeway. If you're afraid to do the speed limit on the freeway, don't drive on the freeway. But get out of the way. Let me accelerate to a point where I'm not going to have somebody climbing and trying to sit in my back seat from another vehicle. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Stop being so timid. Get on the freeway and go. I've had enough.
Driving behavior is a frequent topic of the Enough segment.
It's very frustrating.
I get it. Timid is a Minnesota nice term. I think that's true. Were you trying to clean up your language for our program?
No. Timid was how I would describe it.
No.
And I think you hit on the thing that people, see cars going that much faster and they just sort of tense up for whatever reason because they're fearful of it. And
it's scary. It's a little scary. I know people who are scared to drive on the highway.
Then get out of Minneapolis and go, 55 out someplace or whatever it is where it's a little bit, it's a little bit slower. If you're going to get on the freeway, go.
Yeah.
Because your fear is causing more of a problem than the actual speed would.
Where are you on construction? Have you had enough of construction?
It really hasn't, this is kind of an annoyance, but only a minor one, really. The 394 bit. The getting on to 394 is a major annoyance. I've had enough of that. But 394 being under construction itself really hasn't impacted. And there really isn't any other construction that's impacting me directly. So I say, have at it.
What annoys me about the 394 setup is that every construction project leaves the main problem still unresolved, which is that one lane getting from 394 onto 94.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
It is. I think
even
that's
out of traffic, like it's backed up to Penn.
I did this as a topic one time when you were gone. I still claim that interchange between 394 eastbound to 94 eastbound is the worst interchange in the entire metropolitan area. It's the worst. It's terrible. People try to zipper merge, even though it's not really set up for a zipper merge, but you sort of can zipper merge, but not really. And then it's
what you have to do is the only correct way to deal with that is by being a jackass.
Yeah.
You have to pull to the front and sneak in.
You know what you need to not be? Don't be timid.
Don't be timid.
Just get up there and
good.
get in.
This is motivational advice.
That's what I'm saying.
A texter says enough of the 394 Dunwoody exchange.
Yeah.
Period.
No, I mean it's not a great fix, but it's what you got to do while you're doing this construction.
Now,
I get that, but then people got to go.
Yeah. Now another texter, and you're welcome to join us at 651-461-9226. What have you had enough of? Texter says, enough of young kids on e-bikes going too fast. Oh, e-bikes are interesting because I like the accessibility of it. The fact that as you age or as you maybe are afraid of like going up a hill or something, that you can do it. And I think that's good. But most of the behavior I see on e-bikes is super obnoxious. Now, I am worried about, like, we had that big story this week about, like, all the doctors are worried about the e-bikers and the scooters.
Yeah.
Don't take away my scooter. I love the scooters. I want a scooter. I would love to scoot.
You like to scoot.
Can I scoot from downtown St. Paul to here? Probably not.
Probably not.
Pro scoot.
Is it the classic e-bike that's the problem, or is it these,
like sort of motorcycles,
almost motorcycle-ish style thing? That's what I think is causing most.
It's a little more.
Those have no business being on the bike lanes.
Let's go to Alan in Minneapolis. Alan, what have you had enough of?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on. Regarding the baggage fees, I think it's a good thing. I don't want to pay for everyone else's inability to pack and bring in their pillows and all their extra stuff when they should probably leave most of it home.
Interesting. Do you think that people are packing less because of the carry-on for free?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but they're still packing too much.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those people are trying to shove everything into carry-on and get by and carry it on to avoid baggage fees. But, it takes jet fuel. That's expensive for the airfare. If I got my 15-pound bag versus someone else's 40-pound bag.
I mean, who's carrying on a 15-pound bag, though? Come on now. This is now I shouldn't be judging. Well, Alan's judging my enough, so I'm judging you back, Alan. Come on now. People are packing like 35 pounds in a carry-on. You could just check that same bag and call it a day. It'd be much easier.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. And, it takes gas to haul that luggage, takes jet fuel.
Well, should they charge us by how much we weigh then? Like, I mean, let us take a bag. We're going somewhere. We need a bag.
Yeah, no, the whole person weight thing is a whole different completely thing. But there's a lot of us who are just packing 15, 20 pounds on a carry-on for a 4 or 5 day trip. I mean, I survived in South America for 2 weeks on a 25-pound bag carry-on. So
that's pretty good. Thanks, Alan. Lane is in Sartell. Lane, what have you had enough of?
Yes, I have had enough of folks that order delivery services from the apps, whether it be Instacart, Domino's Pizza, whatever. You're waiting on a delivery. It's nighttime. You don't turn on the porch light for the delivery driver.
That's a great one.
Outrageous.
That is great.
People do not turn on the light?
They don't. For many years, I delivered for Domino's, and it was always just stumbling through the front yard trying to find the door and the doorbell, and just
or even to see the address, right?
People.
That's so
right.
If that porch light isn't on, it's hard to see the address.
That's crazy.
I tell you.
Lane, since you've called in, I've always wanted to ask a pizza delivery driver if you've ever had one of those scenarios that plays out in the movies.
Lane, I'm so sorry.
Like you open the door and there's somebody.
Would you stop? What is the matter with you?
I don't know. Have you ever encountered maybe a little more than you planned on encountering? Like you open the door and the pepperoni was already on the other side of the door, that sort of thing.
Well, no, but I do have a fun fact and a somewhat celebrity sighting. I delivered pizza to none other than smoking hot weatherman Ken Barlow.
Hey, how about Ken Barlow's a good. Now, don't ruin Ken Barlow for me. He tipped all right.
Oh, no, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. He gave me a huge tip.
I love that. Lane, thank you. Very good. Call anytime. There goes Lane. That's a great enough. Keep them coming. Lots of texts coming in at 651-461-9226. Boy, that Ken Barlow story could have gone in a different direction, though, couldn't it? You just talk about a warm front coming through. Drive time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, dinner time is almost here. I'm going out to dinner tonight. One of the things I've noticed at local restaurants is more and more restaurants are putting Minnesota pork on their menus, and they're calling it out by name, and I love it. It's Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board. I always give an oh yeah when I see a nice juicy pork chop on the menu, or beautiful sausage, some great bacon, lean, high protein, delicious. Minnesota pork is a part of the DeRUSH family diet multiple times a week, even though sometimes you feel like, all right, Jason, you got another pork tenderloin, pre-seasoned, pre-marinated. It's so quick and easy. You throw that in the oven, 20 minutes later, you slice it up. You've got dinner for the whole family. Make a salad, make a veg, boom, you're good to go. You're loaded with protein. You're back at it. If your kids are active in sports, put flavor on the table. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. That's the website. 3,000 family farmers. Give them your love. Give them your support. Go to that grocery store and butcher shop and give them an oh, yeah.
There are some things you just shouldn't do on the go, like haircuts.
Don't move. Seriously, stay still. Oh, no.
Surgery.
Let's hurry this up, people. Got another transplant patient waiting at the counter.
Furniture assembly.
Finished.
But staying informed? Well, that's exactly what you should be doing on the go. Some things don't travel. Information does. Stay on the go and in the know with News Talk 830 WCCO.
The one real estate agent that really gets results, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. Paul joins us now. What was your experience like working with the Schuster Group?
We had heard a number of their radio spots on WCCO, and we also attended John and Paul Douglas's home selling seminar. Tim and Abby Lehman came out and met with us.
How were they?
I have one word, and that's exceptional. They went above and beyond our expectations. We put our house on the market on a Thursday morning, and within 48 hours, we had 7 offers. We were able to fortunately sell our house for over $50,000 over ask. John and his team deliver exactly what they say they're going to deliver. You know, I truly think these are people that have your best interest in mind. If we had to do this all over again, there's only one phone call I would make, and that'd be the John Schuster Group.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only, roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercial.
Into a TurboTax free edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. Don't miss the deadline. File by 4/15. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back. We're better. Let's get it.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Whole Foods Market, North 169, slowing between the Crosstown and Minnetonka Boulevard. You can find things slow yet as you travel South 35W 98th Street to Highway 13. 35E northbound, free and clear of any problems there, 94 to 694. Shop seafood savings at Whole Foods Market. Get an 8 to 12 count of responsibly farmed colossal easy-peel white shrimp with prime through April 21st. Prep this versatile prime protein with tacos or pasta while supplies last. Shop in-store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
One day only, April 18th. Don't miss the tent sale in Jordan at By the Yard. Save 20 to 50% off display sale items ready to take home today. But you better hurry. When it's gone, it's gone. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by the Yard. The rain mostly out of the metro. Tonight's low is 34. Tomorrow, high of 50. Scattered showers by evening. It's 52 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
I got to sit through this schlock. And if I were a nice guy, I would say that it's dull and uninspired.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Enough! Emily on YouTube says, I've had enough of people leaving a huge gap between their car and the one in front of them, like an entire car's length. What gives? People are trying to get through intersections or into turn lanes. I think Emily's talking about like when they're stopped.
Right.
And I get it. Sometimes it's 3+ cars, she said.
It's insane.
Now, I get like you're afraid you're going to get like someone's going to rear end you and whatever, but
no, this is about, and I've railed about this how many times, the lack of spatial awareness that we have in our culture. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on around them or what their actions, how they affect anybody else. And this is a perfect example of it. That was excellent by Emily.
Let me rapid fire here. Enough of people who stick their hand in the elevator door just in time to make it open again, only to get off on the next floor. There ought to be a trap door for them. Yes, take the stairs. Enough with poor tipping on shipped orders. I'm not shopping your $250 Target order to make $10 with only a $2 tip. Enough of spam callers where you answer, there's silence, and someone starts talking. Loud call center in the background. Like, I don't know, that's a spam caller. Jack from St. Cloud. Enough with people who put a house number on their house that has black numbers with a black background. Enough of people letting their kids run wild at breweries. Oh, kudos to Maddie now. Continental Diamond time check is 5:58. That's our show. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant.